Anyway, in the opportunities that I've had to minister to people who are addicted to cigarettes, smoking pot, or smoking vape, some of them have, like I said, some of them started coughing and hacking and that whole kind of thing. Others would try it and it would have absolutely no flavor anymore. The flavor, the taste, the satisfaction would just be gone. Sometimes just the look of their cigarettes or their vape or whatever they were smoking, just the look of it was repulsive to them, like instantly. They just couldn't even stand to look at it anymore. They didn't even want to be around it. They would throw their cigarettes down, they would smash them on the ground. They would say, "This looks disgusting to me. I don't even want to see this anymore." Some of them just said, "You know what? I don't know what just happened, but I just don't even want this anymore." Sometimes, and this has only happened maybe once or twice at the most, sometimes they wouldn't be able to light their cigarette again. They would stand there just over and over again trying to light it, and it wouldn't light. I thought that was kind of a funny reaction and response. Another time, and it was crazy, I had ministered to 3 young men that were standing at the pier. I love to go down to the pier. We live sort of close to Lake Erie, so I went down there one day and there were 3 teenagers and they were just kind of hanging out and being a little rowdy. They were, smoking and cursing and drinking a little bit and just acting a little crazy. So I didn't really pay them any attention. I just walked past them because I go to the pier just about every day. And so I walked past them and, I was just kind of sitting there doing my own thing, minding my own business. And I felt like God wanted me to go over to them. So after I had been there for maybe like 10 minutes, I walked over and I approached them and just started making small talk. And I said, "Hey, I noticed you guys are smoking. If you could give that up effortlessly, is that something that you would want?" And it was funny because they said, "It's crazy because right before you walked up here on the pier, we were standing here talking about how we really wish we could quit smoking." And it was funny because all 3 of them, let me minister to them. And afterward, all 3 of them, they couldn't taste their cigarettes at all anymore. That didn't have the same sensation. It didn't have the same appeal. But maybe like a week later, I was at the park again, and I noticed one of them. I was actually leaving the park, and he was walking into the park, and I noticed that he was smoking again, and it really bothered me. I was like, wow, and it really kind of unnerved me and shook my faith because I started thinking, wow, is this just like something that is only lasting for a second and then they're right back on it? And so it bothered me so much. I turned around and I drove back to the park like maybe a couple minutes later, and I found him and I walked up to him, and the second that I walked up to him, he dropped his cigarette. I saw him drop his cigarette, and it was like it disappeared into thin air. Neither one of us could find it, and we were looking for it really hard. And so I started talking to him about it. I was like, "Hey, I know the other week we had just kind of gone after the whole smoking addiction thing, and I see you're smoking again." So I asked him, I was like, so tell me what's going on. And he said that, for a few days he didn't smoke at all, and then gradually over time he started he started feeling drawn toward it again. And so like I said, I've only ministered to maybe about 25 or 30 different people this way, but some of them, like, I don't know. I don't know what the logistics of this all look like in the spirit realm. I don't know exactly what happens with every person, but I have had 2 or 3 people get in touch with me to just sort of testify that it had been weeks and they still didn't have any gravitation or inclination to even want to smoke again. So does everybody not want to smoke ever again? I don't know.